All right, I've gotten some response from my video and I did take a look at it. Unfortunately, the overhead mount that I've got doesn't allow for very good zooms, but this one should work. So I can give you guys a more of a up close and personal view of what's going on with the lubing. I decided to use these Akko starfish because it might have a little bit of more contrast since there's transparent, so you might be able to see better. Let's go ahead and some of these are fun. Not necessarily a fun fan of opening box switches, but usually I end up using, and I don't seem to have. Oh, there's a pair. Using some tweezers to get the other end. You got to get it on there just right for it to come off the first time. So, all right, I'm gonna. Oh, and I went ahead and locked it on the other side. So I don't like doing it with tweezers. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop it off. Like I said, I try to put my finger onto the stem so that it stays that way. Makes it a lot easier. All right, so now that I'm in frame, I hope this is close enough. But basically, I go ahead and grab. Let me see. I need to do it here at an angle. I got it all funny, so bear with me. All right. So I take the oil. I'm looking at the video, trying to make sure. But here, let me basically just give it a light squeeze and make a bead go all the way across. Now, obviously, it doesn't always, it's not always perfect. Obviously, right now, and then I take another bead, but I haven't seen any problem with over lubing. Obviously, you don't want to make a pool in there, but I haven't seen a problem with over lubing the rail stem, the stem railings. But when it comes to the spring, I found one drop on one side and one drop on the other side is all that is needed. That's probably a little bit too much even right there. But then, see, I messed up. I forgot to put my finger and hold this in place. All right. Like I said, I usually like to try to grab it like this so that I can go ahead and keep it in the same orientation and then make sure it's lined up. Press it in on both sides. Yeah. I hear that little bit of oil there. And like I said, it can take from a dozen presses to a couple hundred presses, depending on how much oil you put in there, before it just evenly lubes the spring and then drops down to the bottom. Any extra will drop down to the bottom of the housing thanks to gravity. So I'm just going to do that one more time with the different switch. See if I can get it right the first time on the open. There we go. All right. So I'm trying to keep this. I like these dual stage springs, and I love, for the price, these Starfish Akkos are just amazing. So I'll go ahead, like I said, I like to just go ahead and leave the spring in there and make one bead from one end to the other. I'm barely even pressing on this. And then from one end of the rail post to the other on the other side. And then drop of oil on one side of the spring and a drop of oil on the other side of the spring. And I have the top housing holding on to the stem, line it up, making sure that they're all on the right side and the legs are in the rail. So like I said, after a few so this is a stock probably using the Akos wasn't the best example because they are pretty good stock. Not much spring ping to speak of, just a slight amount of scratchiness. But this is with my time budget lube, budget time lube. So I hope that more close-up video helped. Keep calm, keyboard off.